So, Rost Martin is a newer company. They had their first model, Kurt, gun me.
Huzzah.
The RM1S came out last year, which we reviewed right here. You'll grab the card for that. Great gun. Really love this gun. Good first gun from Rost Martin.
Absolutely.
And so, this year, they came out with the RM1S, which is what we talked to them about. So, first off, we asked them why they didn't do a micro compact first, and they went with a compact. So they said, hey, we heard what you said. So first and foremost, let's just dive into the changes real quick. So Kurt, I will give you that. You can hold that up while I hold this up. First thing and foremost, they made the grip texture more aggressive.
I will say in the review of the original, that was one of my biggest sort of beefs with this, is I did wish that the grip texture was a little bit more aggressive, and they've definitely done that there.
Not only did they make it more aggressive, but they added more texturing up into the spot that we complained about it being too smooth. Now, the one thing they didn't do was add the grip texturing underneath like I asked them to, but I can only get so many. So I really appreciate Rost Martin to listening to us and other people. They were very open to any criticisms we had about the gun. Again, that gun is still one of our top guns that we've reviewed. Really like the RM1S. This, I think, is also going to make that list.
The other thing I want to jump into real quick before we get any further is the fact that they were very, like you mentioned, that they were open to feedback, but sometimes when you have those conversations, they're just trying to defend what they did. That is not what happened here. They're like, no, please tell us, what can we do to make this better? And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, they've made it really better. I really like what they've done with this. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So first we have is build quality. And build quality, I'm going to give it a 5. The gun feels really well built. There's nothing really blaring on it. The slide is easy to rack, even though it's in that smaller compact, subcompact, micro compact form factor. I'm going to give it a 5 for that.
I'm also going to give it a 5, and I think as the fact that Rost Martin is a newer company, sometimes you see, maybe some quality control issues and things like that. That's not what's going on here at all. This thing feels really solid. There's very little play between the slide and the frame that you'll kind of see in striker fire guns. The trigger is really good. Overall, the build quality is definitely a 5.
Next we have is reliability, and reliability for me is a 5. This thing shot everything we put into it. We put about 200-300 rounds through it. Ate it all up. 5 out of 5 for that.
I'm also definitely going to give it a 5. We had no issues whatsoever, and it did. I have no questions about the dependability and reliability of this.
So next we have is feel, and feel is a resounding 5. They did a great job on this and really upped everything we talked about on the grip texture. Now, my other thing that I did mention in the first review is that I was getting punched in the thumb knuckle from the original gun. Somehow I fixed that. I don't know how, I don't know if it's form factor or whatever, but I did not get that knuckle punch that I got on the original. Really good feeling gun, and it being small, even at 12 rounds, they put a little curve here. My finger fits perfectly on here, so I've got a full grip on this, and then we also have the extended mag, which is 15, that fits a entire full grip.
The feel, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Overall, this thing is awesome. I do, like we talked about, I really like the new grip texture. I like the fact that they brought it up here. It does feel great in the hand. I like how they flared the bottom here. And then when you go with the extended mag, you get a little bit more pinky there, which I think is great. I'm giving it a little bit of a dink. The recoil impulse on this is a little bit higher than we've seen on some other things that we reviewed. It's not bad, and honestly it is. It's comparable with other guns out there, but I think that just shows really how competitive this market has become, and this is definitely a solid choice. When we reviewed the original, I was a little bit critical of kind of the overall look. Somehow, some way, even though this isn't that different, I like it better. I don't understand. I think it's just some subtle things. Overall, this is a solid package. The feel of it's really good. The other thing I want to really talk about is the trigger. The trigger is good, and it's the same as it was on the original. You've got a little bit of take up, really, really crisp wall. The reset is really short and very crisp. I like that, and follow-up shots on this thing were good. Really, the only reason I'm giving it kind of that, half a star dink is it's a little bit snappy, but not bad. It's not bad at all.
That with this one.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I think that one shot had lower recoil impulse than the original.
I can see that. I can see that. I'm just saying it was slightly
was
more
slightly-
punchy than some of the other things that we've kind of looked at. And really, what that was is we've reviewed a number of guns. And you're like, I don't know how they're doing this. Like I don't know how the recoil is that low in some of these really small guns. It's average. That's what I want to say. It's not.
Yeah.
It's average. It's just that I think the bar got really lowered here recently. So, but overall, I think it's great. So I also like the fact that it is. We talked about it a little bit, but it's optics cut ready, which is great. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is optics cut ready. It comes with a metal armor plate. We have not mounted an optic to either of these because I personally like co-witness optics, and they don't co-witness very well. They
Right.
sit kind of high, but
Right.
that's personal preference on that.
Mhm.
Next, we have is factory options, and factory options for me is I'm going to leave it at a 3. The reason why I'm giving it a 3 is because they only have the 3 models that they have out right now, which is the RM1S, the RM1C, and the R1C comped. So for this though, there's not a lot of factory options. You are getting an optics cut, you're getting that extra grip texture, but there's not really much out there for factory options for this. And that's to a point to keep it down to a price point.
Yeah. For factory options, I'm going to give it a 4. I do appreciate the fact that they do have optics cut. I do like the fact that they have metal plates because sometimes some folks are going with plastic or you have to mail in and do that kind of thing. I do wish that it had tritium front. Would be my one thing. But other than that, it is. In terms of factory options, I like the striker indicator in the rear. The slide serrations are really good. The trigger's good. I don't know that I would do anything different there. Honestly, I don't know that, no, there isn't a whole lot in terms of aftermarket available yet just because it is newer and we'll get to that. But the stock trigger on this is definitely above average. Like I've paid money to have a trigger this good. So, yeah.
Speaking of aftermarket for me is a 1. I haven't seen any aftermarket stuff out for it. It is still a newer pistol. That has come to be common once they get more into production. We can see more out there on the market. We'll see more aftermarket. I haven't seen much other than from them you can get different optics plates.
Right. And because of that, like you said, I'm also going to have to give it a 1. It's kind of a catch-22. They're a newer company, and I think that as their popularity grows, and it should, I definitely think that these guys are going to be around for a long time to come because they've got a really solid product. But right now, there's just not a ton available aftermarket, but that will definitely grow.
Next we have is X Factor. And X Factor for me is a 5. And you're going to be like, well, 5, that's a lot for this. My X Factor for this is that they listened. They listened, and not only did they listen and do the upgrades we asked them to, or the criticism we gave on the gun, but they listened, they put it into a production gun, and the gun just shoots well. It's a very quick follow-up shot gun. It is in that medium size, so it is good for carry. It is not like it's bad. We do get a nice flared magwell. You get that, we haven't mentioned it yet, which we should have mentioned in feel, is those gas pedals. They are flared out a little bit, so you've got some of that. Gun just fits really good in my hand, really easy to point. It's a 5 because I really do like what they're doing. I like the people over at Rost Martin. They are fantastic people, awesome people to work with. I really like this gun. Not only that, but also what you see when people shrink down guns is they shrink down the trigger guard. They left the trigger guard the same size, so it is a big trigger guard. So if you are in a state where you've got to wear gloves or it gets cold, like that trigger guard is really big to get a gloved hand in there for that really good trigger. So.
And I think the other side effect to that is the fact that if you already have the original Rost Martin, that holsters, I'm sure that they're going to work fine.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll be fine there. X Factor for me is also a 5, and that comes from the fact that yes, this is a great gun, but I really appreciate the company. I mean, this is really and truly kind of, the American dream story. I appreciate the fact that they're a small company. That's really everything that you're kind of looking for in a firearms company, and you don't see that much anymore. I mean, for me, it is anything that I could personally do to support something like that, I'm going to do. Aside from the fact that this is a great gun. This is super solid. I would suggest this to anybody, and regardless of where it was made or who it was, I would say that this is an awesome gun.
I just want to say something about the owners of Rost Martin real quick. Chris, who owns the company with his wife Stephanie, he texted me before SHOT Show. He didn't have to do that. He texted me and said, "Hey, remember those things we talked about? Here it is."
Yeah.
And sent me a picture of this. He goes, "I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you giving your feedback. We've gone and done what you guys have suggested. Not only just us, but other content creators and other people in the industry who want to see them succeed." You know, Chris is a very good guy. I can't say enough nice things about him. To come to us, who helped, you know, who reviewed the first gun, to come to us and go, "Hey, thank you for your feedback," or even asking for the feedback in the first place, you know, that speaks a lot about what they want to do. They want to grow as a company. They want to come out with a really good gun. And not only have they come out with a really good gun, but they've upgraded to the complaints that we had from the original. And that just speaks volumes for them.
I mean, and that's my biggest thing. What more could you ask for in a company, really? Because a lot of times it is. You look at a lot of other firearms companies, and it is. They're big, and, you know, your input or feedback that you give is customer complaint number 89642. You know, it's totally faceless. I just love the fact that it's a husband and wife owned company. They're making amazing products here in the US. Seriously, what more can you ask for?
Here's what I'll say to that. Kurt and I have been in this industry for a very long time. The amount of times you're at a show and somebody comes up to you and goes, "Hey, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with your product," or "This is how you can make it better," it normally goes in one ear out the other. You can tell us 100 times, we know what it costs to make things better. They took the feedback we had and they were like, "Okay, either we can go and not add the added cost of getting this stippled or having this put into a mold, or we can do what people asked us to do." And they did exactly what we asked them to do. We asked for a smaller gun, they gave us a smaller gun. We asked for more grip texture, they gave us more grip texture. So good on them that. Now, Kurt, question comes now to, are you a buyer at the $439 that is running street price right now? These are $469 MSRP.
I am, and we're going to factor into this that there's a lot of other choices out there that are coming in a lot cheaper, and a lot of those are going to be imports. You know, to me, I think it's definitely worth spending a little bit extra to support Rost Martin. Now, I will say, like the original, you know, I was kind of lukewarm on it. I mean, again, it's a solid gun. It just personally wasn't really my thing. I love what they've done here. The changes are subtle, but it's made, at least for me, all the difference. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, it's Rost Martin or whatever. It is. I really like what they've done with this gun. The size, it's not that different. I mean, I think that's something else to talk about. Like when you look at the overall dimensions and size difference, it's not that great. You know what I mean? The question comes, you know, in terms of, are you a buyer? Like if you bought the original, would you buy this one as well? The differences aren't huge. Is it worth that cost? Maybe, maybe not. That's up to you. I personally do. I like this form factor a little bit better. If I was a first-time buyer and I was picking between the two, I would honestly probably lean toward this one. That's just me. Because it is. The size differences aren't that great. And I like the extra grip texture, and I like the small things that they've done on this. So how about you? Are you a buyer?
Yes, I am 100% a buyer. I think you're absolutely right. The price point is up there, closer to some of the other bigger brands, but we're still coming in at a lower cost. The lower items would be imports. This is an American-made gun. You hit the nail on the head. This is, I wouldn't ever steer anybody away from the RM1S. It is a fantastic gun. This comes with so you're talking about a 4-inch versus a 3.6-inch. You're talking 12 rounds flush versus 15 rounds extended. You know, you're still getting that full grip with the extended mag. This is a really good gun. If you think the RM1S is a little too big to carry for you, this is perfect for that, because you get the 12 rounder in there. It is a small little compact package, but it's not small in the way of feel. It's smaller in the grip length and the barrel length, but you still get ton of grip texture, full grip, and you still get that good trigger and that huge trigger guard, which is huge, a big advantage for this gun. I think this is another good home run hit from them. I think this is going to do well for them. Definitely, if you guys are in the market for like a concealed carry gun that's in that compact kind of micro compact range, because this isn't, I wouldn't call this a micro compact.
No.
I'd call this like a true subcompact.
Mm-hmm.
Even that being said, it is still kind of thin. It's not that big. You get 12 rounds on the pipe plus 15 carrying on the side if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I would 100% recommend this gun to a lot of
The
people.
other thing that I really want to stress here is we reviewed a lot of budget guns, and a lot of them are imports. And we've had really good luck with them. They've been really good. I don't question the reliability at all. But what I appreciate about the Rost Martin is that, you know, when you look at some of those imports, the design is good, the build quality of them is good. I don't know what their quality control is. I don't know, and I probably question their customer service as well, right? You're not going to have those issues here with Rost Martin. And yeah, at this price point, maybe you could be looking at some of the, you know, bigger manufacturers. I don't question the reliability or build quality or customer service of this in any way whatsoever. I mean, they're right on par with those bigger guys. And so I just really wanted to throw that point in there as well.
That being said, we have to thank our friends over at Click Click Bang. Check them out at ClickClickBang1 on Instagram. That's C-L-I-K, not C-L-C-K. Go check them out there.
I also want to thank Global Ordnance. They supplied all the ammo for these reviews. Without them, I don't know what we would be doing. They're awesome, and they've been great.
Next thing we have to thank is Red Lab 3D for making this awesome stand for us. Go check him out. He can do custom stuff like this too. Again, appreciate you, brother, for doing this for us.
Lastly, we've got TCRT targets. You've probably seen those in the background as we're doing a lot of our testing and reviews. Really, really durable self-healing rubber targets. They last a whole lot longer than a lot of other things out there. If you want to get 10% off, you can use coupon code FLR10 at checkout, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah. Also, if you haven't seen Kurt and I wear these awesome things, go check out Camerado. Go check out the YouTube channel Dangerous Freedom. That's who runs Camerado, Sean Heron from We Like Shooting.
A really good friend, and seriously, he's absolutely crushing it all the way around.
Yeah,
so
go get yourself some Camerado.
Yeah.
So, that being said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell for a notification. If you don't, Jeremy from We Like Shooting will hunt you down.
And you don't.
No.
He's one of the largest people that I know, and he's angry.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
I love you, Jeremy. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he does have a reason. I don't know. He's so big that you can't do anything about it, and he knows it. Yeah. So he speaks his mind. And
he almost choked me out giving me a hug the one time.
He's almost choked about everybody.
Out.
Yeah, it's sort of a rite of passage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So awesome. Guys, but seriously, like, share, and subscribe. It's super helpful, and John loves you for it. I think you're moderately cool. I don't know.
We'll catch you. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.